Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. For anybody who might just be tuning in right now, if you can recognize this melodious baritone, then you're listening to one, the only, the voice of KPB. It is your boy Afro Dynamic, a.k.a. the Crimson Chin. Now, I've been talking all weekend about how history has been being made with Samurai Shodown at EVO 2019. And I get to say that now I get to live a bit of that history because I'm sitting next to, this man needs no introduction. I'm pretty sure you could recognize it, but for anybody who can't read right now, this is James Chen.
How's everybody going?
And again, it has been an amazing weekend for Sam Shodown. Like I said, honest to God, it blows my mind. This time last year, Samurai Shodown was in the conversation, yes.
Right.
But like,
nobody was expecting anything at this point in time.
Not to discredit anyone involved with it, same to like Heiser, same to the Nobuyuki and all that stuff. It was in the conversation, but you could go so far as to call it a little bit of an afterthought. Fast forward to 2019, and we have over 1,700 people that signed up for this game. The most entered SNK title at EVO, period.
Even without a t-shirt.
Exactly, man. And again, like I said, and it just, to me, it is absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah.
Watching what we've been seeing on stream and off stream.
You're breathtaking. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, but I mean, it's absolutely true. I've been super excited about this. Obviously, people who've been following me know how much I'm just so hyped and excited for Samurai Shodown. It feels like it's bringing the old school back into the FGC.
Not only is it bringing the old school back again, like I said, it's bringing so many different groups, so many different regions, and like so many different generations of FGC together. I believe it was Choco Blanca that was saying that again. Playing this game, it's revealing your humanity. Man. And again, like you're seeing so many different shades of the rainbow when it comes to like how people play. I mean, I know leading into this tournament, there was some concern regarding, the quote-unquote popularity of Genjuro because of the SNK tournament.
Yes.
And the craziest thing that is that for all the Genjuros that we've seen, I have not seen any two of them play alike.
Yeah.
And that's the amazing thing because there is such a, such an approachable skill ceiling, or rather such an approachable level of entry for this game.
Right.
It's bringing people in. But the beauty of it is once they cross that initial threshold, skill ceiling shoots right up. And again, it's amazing to see all the different things that have been accomplished and all the players who are being brought together by this game.
Yeah. The best thing about this game is that you play this game with your emotions.
Yes.
You play this game by feel, and that's why we're getting all the different styles. Your personality really kind of shines in this situation.
Oh, definitely.
Because if you're a rushdown kind of player, you can play your character in a rushdown style. But then if you're a defensive guy, you can play that same character in his defensive style. And, just to be able to see how many people here are, you talked about all the different scenes coming together.
Yes.
One of the things that I noted was at Wednesday Night Fights, one of the grand finals was between Vae and Kizzy K. And I've never seen them play a fighting game against each other, and it was awesome to see.
And again, like I said, we saw Vae here yesterday, and God bless every opponent that he fought, but it was just another level where it was experience playing out. I mean, mind you, like I said, when we talk about Alex Vae, we have to talk about a guy like, say, he's been one of the pillars of the FGC.
Oh, yeah.
Not just West Coast, but like just one of the pillars of the FGC for decades now.
Yes.
And he brings so much to the table whenever he picks up the sticks. So for somebody to come, for literally anybody to have the opportunity to play against him, even if you walk away and you have to take the L, that has to be viewed as a learning experience.
Oh, yeah,
man. Again,
absolutely.
And the old saying is when you lose, don't lose the lesson.
Right. Yeah.
And for all the people who have come up here, for all the people who are in pools right now, for all the people who have been on stage, I hope and pray that everybody who, again, happens to walk away, whether it's going 0-2, whether it's going 2-1 or whatever, for all the people who have been just walking away and they didn't manage to get that W, I do really hope that, again, they take something vital away from these matches, man.
Oh, yeah. I tell people all the time, you come to EVO, you play, and it's the experience.
Yes.
You get to be here, you get to enjoy the spectacle, and then eventually you're going to sit down and watch this top 8 for this game. And you're all going to be in an audience with so many other people, and everybody's going to scream as soon as someone lands a deflect or a super special, or, someone's going to just land a standing C, and everyone's going to wince, and everyone's going to scream, and it's just going to be amazing.
Like I said, again, hopefully nobody minds that, again, I can just gush, give a little testimonial here. But my first EVO, even though, like I said, I've been around the FGC for a little while, like 2017 was my first EVO. I was here for KOF 14.
Right.
And I was able to like compensate some of the pools, and I was there that Friday night when they had the top 8.
Yeah.
And because, again, like that was my game, I really, really wanted to like be in it. I made the well, in hindsight, I made the mistake of being front row center when all of it happened. So we have this top 8, and again, it is just like, it is a masterpiece when it comes to this like FGC competitive
That was the one
play.
that ET ended up
Exactly,
winning, right?
yeah. And again, like, because you bring up that point, remember, front row center when the whole "Don't Wake Daddy" meme came to life. Now, I was there naturally. Again, I was cheering and everything, but because it was my first EVO, I did not count for the like just the tidal wave of noise that was going to come behind me. Because here it is, like, again, mind you, I'm there, like I'm up out of my seat, I'm yelling and I'm cheering and everything. And I don't know why I thought for some reason like I was going to be a loud voice. No, I was a drop in the ocean at that point. And just watching that whole thing, watching Taiwan get their first EVO champion, watching like Goro Daimon, of all characters in KOF, like literally just again be that guy that just changed everything. And it was one of those things that was beautiful. And now, oh boy, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said again, we are about to lock in and get started with the Sam Show action here.
We are basically at the end of one block of pools, and I believe we're here at the quarterfinals right now.
Yes.
And I mean, looking at the name of the players, like for example, I'm just looking at pool H200, right? There's a bunch of pools here. Okay.
Yeah.
So I already see, for example, Justin Wong is in this one. Kane Blue River is going to be going up against Jeff the Hero. Sack Tap is in this pool. On the loser side, you know, we got Kusanagi, we got Chris King, we got Hayao, the Third Strike Hugo player. I mean, that's just one of the pools. And then in internet signal is fun over here. But you know, in pool H202, Aru is there, Kubo is here, Fubar Duck is in this. God, we've got so many. Pecos is in here as well.
Who, like, really showed up yesterday. And yes, I apologize for the voice spike there, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm finally getting to see what I knew was going to happen. There is a Kyoshiro on the EVO stage right now.
Oh boy. Okay. We're gonna get dude, that was the thing. Is like I kept someone kept asking me like, how many Genjiros do you think make top 8? I was like, maybe 3, but I'm also gonna predict that we're gonna get like a Nakaruru in top 8 as well. So here we go.
Kyoshiro versus Yoshitora right now.
And here's the thing, right? There's so many people out there who were so confident that Kyoshiro was going to be bad that a lot of people probably didn't even lab him, like figure out what he's going to do. And so you're going to get a player coming in here all of a sudden and blowing you up with this character because you didn't prepare yourself for the matchup.
And again, like I say, it's one of those things where when it comes to SNK games, because like I can safely say that's been my wheelhouse for the last couple of years. When it comes to SNK, I see them. Oh, okay. All right.
Darn.
You want to rob me of my joy, but nonetheless, when it comes to SNK rarely makes objectively bad characters.
Yeah.
Like you'll have ones that are like going to be on the lower end of the food chain, sure, but every character on an SNK roster serves a purpose. Every character has a strength and more or less more than a few weaknesses. When it comes to Kyoshiro, sure, he's got like some weird hurt boxes, but the guy literally, again, he just sweats out chip damage. Probably some of the highest output in the game. But right now, we're in this match.
You know what? We're talking about on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I actually feel like Charlotte is amazing in this game.
Definitely.
I think one of the strongest characters, probably right under Genjuro, but you're going to watch it. For those of you who are new to this game and who are not super familiar with this, Yoshitora has got the 6 swords, trying to build up all 7 of them right now. Every time you see him chop a flower, he's got another one.
And it's one of the, early on, one of the bad habits that a few people gravitate towards, and I'm glad to see that the community has been working away from that mindset. And again, with Charlotte, the only weakness that I see Charlotte having is, again, just a minor reach thing. Yeah. But again, that's nothing that can't be solved with a quick micro dash after a throw.
Yeah. Also, I mean, the other biggest weakness, because she's the character that I would probably play if I played in tournaments, because that's how good she is. Air to air, obviously, all of her jump attacks aim downward, so she can't really play the air to air game, which is very important in Samurai Shodown. But right now, looks like Kyle Dannon has a slight life lead. Oh, yeah, there it is. The ambiguous cross-up in the middle of the jump. See?
Kind of again, just one of those things. Yoshitora's jump in C. It's one of the deadliest, if not the deadliest in the game.
And you know what? One of the beautiful things about that move, you watch it, all 4 of the sword strikes are different colors because he's using a different sword for every single one of them.
And that's just how quick those hands are.
Yep. Such a cool character design.
And again, beautiful TK on the midair there.
Trying to zone a little bit.
All right, trading the ante, air to air, nice. And again, like I said, but that DP is going to shut it down every time.
And for a very different reason, Charlotte jump C almost just as good as Yoshitora's. But like I said,
deep cross up.
Yeah, right there. That is one of the best cross up tools in the game. And here we go, Kainuma, just trying to go for chip, and there it is, it's enough.
And again, like I said, she may have a bit of a reach, discrepancy when it comes to her weapon flip and her super secret, but when you're locked down in the corner, she's in control.
And that weapon flipping technique is an 8-frame startup, so one of the fastest ones, although that 8-frame hit is right next to her, so it doesn't reach very far. Oh, here we go.
Again, really, applying the pressure in the corner. Beautiful anti-air right there.
And honestly, Charlotte, her set of kicks is probably one of the best set of kicks in the game. But we've got ourselves an activation here. Oh boy. Oh no, that's blocked, but not punished.
All right, goes to the sweep hurl.
Kyle still has that Eason available to him. Gets the throw, gonna go for the weapon flipping technique instead, and Kainuma is gonna end up using the burst.
And he cuts her out in the air, and Kainuma again overcoming a couple of odds here. Looked like he was kind of on the back end because again, once Yoshitora bursts his rage, you have to be careful because again, he has a tremendous amount of reach, particularly with his neutral 5H. So again, now that's something that can cover 3/4 of the screen.
Right. And Kainuma Danon made the correct choice. He got the throw, tried to go into the weapon flipping technique. The Eason would have been scaled heavily, so try to make them lose the weapon, and Kainuma refused and actually decided to spend the burst at that moment as well. Paid off for him.
And right now it is 1-0 in Kainuma's favor.
Oh, is it deep enough to get? Yes, there it is.
Full combo.
And we're gonna get a lot of hits and a lot of damage. Oh,
just under 50 on that one. And one of the most beautiful combos in the game. All right, tries to go for a dodge there, nice. Yeah, like I said, still opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, it's anti-air? No, not gonna work as an anti-air. Yeah. I like the idea of throwing the uppercut there. Yoshitora's like to try to combo the jump C into the ground move. A lot of times they miss it, so going for the invincible uppercut in between just in case he does miss that combo. Oh, not this time. Oh, wasn't. It's a little too deep actually, so the 4th hit did not come out in time.
Yeah, right now, Kainuma, like I said, slowly pacing this time. Good use of the 6-6K.
Yeah, again, great kick moves from Charlotte, but then getting caught by the Tiger Knee.
And again, it's unfortunate. The beautiful thing is that Kainuma, I can see it right there, he was going for the deflect. And he would have been able to actually capitalize given the distance, but again, it was just a slight timing.
Right. Deflects, of course, are really powerful in this game. Hard to punish heavily as well, so deflects are actually a very powerful tool, but they still require a lot of foresight. Try to go for the really deep jumping. Jumping attacks do not cause a lot of hit stun. You have to go for the deep ones to get the combo, and that caused it so that he went for such a deep one that it didn't hit in time.
But this anti-air works, and now and they're off screen. So now again, the war of attrition begins right now.
Yeah, he says, you know what, you're not getting your weapon back. You're going to take chip from all of the sword pokes here, and I'm just going to jump back in the corner over here like a rabbit, and you're going to have to deal with it.
Now, the beautiful thing is there, and this is one thing that I'm seeing Kyle Van actually really make use of. One of the things that I always tell people, learn what your character can do unarmed.
Yes.
And certain characters, again, they do have benefits there. Case in point, Charlotte, she ends up getting a crack when she doesn't have her sword on her hands, and again, that just throws people off.
Right. Oh, but it's not going to work out here. Yeah, it's not going to work here for Danon, unfortunately.
All right, so match point for Kainuma. Trying to hold out, sends out the bayonet. Trying to look this again, nobody home.
Yep, and here we go, getting started with that Yoshitora, but just throwing out that careful uppercut. And yeah, Charlotte's going to hold on to her fireballs. But
have to be careful with that.
Yeah, have to be ready for that. That's one of Yoshitora's main tools on getting in. Oh, here we go with the anti-air again.
Times it perfectly. Now again, that line in the sand is there. He's gonna have to like risk it if he wants to get the weapons back.
Yeah, but look how little life he has left. It's not gonna happen there.
And the explosion.
And Kainuma is gonna take it.
Yes, sir. Just again, one step further towards that main stage appearance.
Calling out more game right there. Awesome.
Good stuff, Kainuma. Good stuff, man. And again, like I said, what we see here, beautiful use of the spacing, beautiful use of the normals as well. And that's one of the main things that people have to like really take away from every Sam Show match. Don't get me wrong, yes, all the supers and specials in this game, they're glorious to behold. But at the same time, if you want to be truly effective, you have to know what your character is fully capable of.
Yeah.
Even if it's just them trying to play keep away, even if it's them trying to like, rush down and throw somebody off because again, they are finally unarmed. You just have to be fully aware because the second you have that complete awareness of your character, you won't be surprised, or at least won't be as surprised as you could be in some of these matches.
Yeah.
And now, oh man, again, here we see it lately. You guys can't see this yet, but we have a view of it, and I recognize that haircut anywhere.
Okay.
So again, our old-time friend, KDZ, just stepped up on stage, ladies and gentlemen. And again, this is a tribute to what James was saying a moment ago. The generations of the FGC that are coming together for this game, it is something to behold.
Absolutely, and just players coming from all the different genres as well. So like I said, I mean, again, this is not, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing, but a lot of fighting games these days are very much frame data heavy. You know, you have to understand if it's your turn, if it's their turn, you got to know what's punishable, etc., etc. Samurai Shodown kind of takes that and kind of shoves it to the side because, with the rebound mechanic in this, when you block the sword and the character rebounds like this, you could cancel that into special moves. And so it really changes the whole console. Even though if you get rebounded off of a block and you're like minus whatever, 40 something, but I can cancel that into an invincible uppercut or a quick poke and catch you before you hit me. It kind of lets you play, like I said, with feel, right? Exactly. You're like, you know what? I'm going to just do this, and he's going to be scared to try to counter poke me, so I'm just going to let my rebound rock, and he's not going to poke, and I was right, and I got away with it.
Yeah, it's funny because not too long ago, I heard somebody explain this game to me in math, and math was my worst subject. But they said that when it comes, usually, every time you go for a game, it's always about doing A so that your opponent can do B.
Right.
In this game, you have to take it a step further. I'm going to do A to force my opponent to do B, and I'm going to have C and D ready.
Yes.
Just in case whatever they do. And now, if this isn't a button check, we're about to go into the Haomaru here.
Yeah, Haomaru, definitely one of the strongest characters in this game. Weapon flipping technique is so fast. And, in the situation, we talked about the rebound canceling, but he can actually punish medium rebounds and heavy rebounds, and there's really not much most characters can do about it.
No, there is not.
So once Haomaru gets weapon flipping technique, it's very scary. But again, so this not quite a button check, but they went to the character select again.
I guess, yeah.
But it looks
somebody
like
was, changing their mind.
No, they're going to stick with it. And
okay.
So we got a Haomaru on both sides here. One of them chose the blue Haomaru, so I think that's the correct Haomaru. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's see here. Yeah, and this is an interesting mirror match as well. Because I've played during the beta. I played this mirror match a lot, but the running punch. You're gonna see this a lot, which is gonna be a funny way for samurais to fight against each other. But it's such an effective tool. It cannot be deflected, and there is no rebound off of the running punches. And if you use it at the right range, it's very safe. But running throw is going to be effective, and that's going to be interesting right there. So the run B into the uppercut is going to be kind of a telltale thing because you can burst it and punish it for huge damage. So let's see how much people are going to risk going for it. And see if they're going to try to tempt the opponent to use their Rage Burst.
Yeah, beautiful feint. And he goes for the sake.
Yeah. So less damage, but unburstable. So at this point in time, he could... Oh, yeah. Oh, it's close enough.
Afraid.
Look at that damage.
Right there. again, like I said, now Harmar is not going to let that line in the
Oh no, he went for the throw, and he's going to be taken out for it. So KDZ going down. KDZ is the red Haomaru, and Bon is the blue one. Oh, the point blank dash, see? What a call out right there. Maybe trying to go against the back dash or something like that, but run throws are going to be very effective in this match because, you know, you're going to be scared to throw out a lot of buttons.
Trying to go for that deep jump.
There we go.
Good use of the DP for a counter.
Yeah, for the first time in Sam Show games, those uppercuts are truly invincible. And yeah, you can see right now KDZ has a very run-throw heavy game, but you got to watch out for rolling forward into the uppercut.
As I said, those wake-up DPs in this game, they are a literal life-changing event.
Yeah, he's got the fireball fakes. Nobody has the weapon flipping technique right now, so nobody can counter the rebounds. But look at this KDZ trying to go in there with those running punches.
And the yeah smash is strong with Sam Show.
Oh yeah, gotta watch out now. Bon has to be very careful.
Any miscalculation? Just like that.
And that's one of the things.
On the board.
When you activate your Eason, what happens is you become very tense as well. And you're trying to find the right moment to get in there and either bait them to hit a button so you can whip punish or frame trap them essentially with that.
Yeah, like I said, it is like the most intense game of chicken you're ever going to come across.
And then, or maybe try to scare them into jumping. But then, if the opponent knows that you're in that weird tense situation, that opens you up to get run up and throw. So there you go. That is exactly what Bon did.
And again, it becomes this moment where, again, like, who is going to crack first? Are you going to crack on offense and just go out for the Eason? Are you going to crack on defense and try to throw out something that you think might actually stop the Eason? Yeah. So again, now, KDZ, and again, he's debating. All right, he's locking in. He's going to stick to his guns.
Stick to the Haomaru. But the spacing very, very crucial in this game, especially because they're focusing a lot on the dash punch. Right now you can see that KDZ is playing, like I said, mostly a dash punch, dash throw kind of mix-up.
Yep. He wants to keep that momentum on his side.
I think Bon kind of realized it too. Not as much dashing attack. Yeah, you see right there, he threw out the standing C because he was trying to read the dash forward from KDZ. So he was just trying to get a big chunk of damage right there off the bat.
Again, like, the beautiful thing about this game is that, yes, you can go for the giant heavy slashes.
Oh, yeah.
But the important thing that comes out is that you have to, you know, most times, apply that quote-unquote death by 1,000 cuts. Like, he's going to run in and poke and turtle. And, yeah, like I said, it's going to annoy your opponent, but it's going to actually serve its purpose.
And actually, Okay, never mind. I thought they had switched colors, but no, they are, I believe they're the same colors. Yep, there you see again KDZ throwing out that standing C. They're both trying to read the run forward from the other player. Bon going back to just the dashing punches. They're back in this neutral space, but you can see how Bon is throwing out a lot more stuff besides the dashing punch. He was also going for, and he's gonna take it. Haomaru is pretty effective even without his weapon.
Yeah, he is.
There you go.
We've seen it right there, and that's the beauty of it, man. It's one thing I always tell people. Learn what your opponent can do unarmed and go for the dash attacks. It gives you the freedom to move.
KDZ tried to go for that universal overhead. Didn't hit it. He's got to land something. He tried to go for the standing C.
And the punch prevails.
And you can't see it on your screen, but Bon happy, dancing in his chair, a smile on his face.
Good adjustment there.
But didn't use the blowback. Oh, okay. Small punish. Just the throw combo. Now,
oh, yeah. Like see. And again, unfortunately, I do not get to see that attack from Haomaru enough.
But it is his anti-projectile weapon, so that's why he's pretty good in these fireball wars. You can't feel too safe throwing fireballs at him because he's got that option ready for himself the whole time. Yeah, you see KDZ trying to fake it right there, trying to bait the flip. Okay, now KDZ throwing out the standing B as well. I like it. Not going for the Hail Mary standing Cs. Okay, yep.
Slash.
Nice. KDZ trying to get his round over here. Oh, this is gonna be big damage. You know, even a close-up C I feel like would have did a lot more. Oh my, here we go.
Thankfully he landed with his sword.
Oh, but he missed the throw. KDZ going for a lot of throws when he's disarmed. He's gotta be careful, and now an empty jump in the uppercut and embrace death. KDZ has been split in half.
Tisk.
My God, the man has been split in half.
Oh man. Again, that is the beauty of how this can play out. Options there where, again, like I said, he was hit with a weapon flip, and through the most glorious of circumstances, he actually landed with his sword.
Yeah.
But Bond saw that, and he read that out immediately, and he decided, yeah, you're not picking up that blade, not one way, no how, right? And again, you see it right there. Once you go for the weapon flip, that damage automatically changes absolutely everything. It is the literal turn on a dime when it comes to any matchup. And he saw it right there. He realized it again. He had his opportunity. He was on the back foot with that life move.
Yeah.
He got the weapon flip. He came in, and all he had to do was just constantly, he basically had to choke out any opportunity that KDZ was going to jump in.
And that is right there 100% indicative of why Haomaru is so strong. Because that weapon flipping technique is so fast. And it can catch so many people in the middle of their moves like that.
Like I said, and it combos off of the light slash and the medium slash as well. So again, like I said, even if it scales, you can go for a reverse throw out the medium slash, and then bam, you automatically have the weapon flip.
Yep.
All right, so again, our next lovely contestants are locking in.
Coming up to the stage right now. And again, thanks everybody for tuning in. I know there's a lot of streams going on here at EVO, but thank you guys for choosing some Samurai Shodown here.
Yes, like I said, we do appreciate that. Again, I always say there are 1,001 places you can be at any given moment on Twitch, and you decided to spend some time with us. So for that, we thank you.
Absolutely. And again, this is just, and one of the beautiful things about this game is that it is relatively new.
Yes.
It's a brand new game, so we're going to be seeing a lot of, different styles here. People saving a lot of tricks for EVO. And you're going to see a lot of your favorite players here on the stream as well. So there's going to be a ton of guys here. I mean, like we mentioned Vi earlier, we mentioned Justin Wong earlier. Pugera is in here. We just saw KDZ. So there's just players from every walk of the FGC, all ages, all coming here to play. Whoa, what was that?
Somebody brought their Lucky Ducky on.
Yeah. Going through a little bit of button checks here. That's the lightning dash there. That's the ESIN. Only did 50%, but that's because, in case you guys aren't aware, after you activate the burst, all you have to do is hit A, B, and C, and that gives you the lightning dash. The more meter you have in your lightning dash timer, the more damage you do. But if you activate it with your full health bar, you get a shorter timer.
Yes.
So you can't do as much damage. So the less life you have when you activate it, the more damage potential that you can do. So that's why a lot of people will save it for the end.
Yep, because again, the beautiful thing about it is, and if you want to call this, ironic, I suppose you could, but again, the closer you are to death, the more powerful of a death really you become. So again, and like I said, I remember when the first full trailer for this game came out, and I told everybody on social media, if you're wondering why the initial trailer is telling you to embrace death, trust me, when this game comes out, a lot of you are going to have a hard time accepting that truth.
Oh man, best thing about it. Shout outs to the PR crew for that too. The Embrace Death hashtag.
Again, that was brilliant.
It went viral at one point. It trended on social media, and it got everybody on the internet super confused who had no idea. Meanwhile, the fighting game community was like, "Yep, ooh, we got Kibetsu here going up against Score."
Nice.
Kibetsu. Again, another Yoshitori. And Yoshitori is an interesting character because Yoshitori is one of those characters that, depending on who you talk to, he's either super good or only okay, and so it's interesting that we've seen 2 Yoshitoras on stream already. So we're seeing here, I feel like Japan definitely rates him a lot stronger than the United States does so far. Yep, trying to get that jump C. That is one of Yoshitori's best weapons, but you can see Score all ready for it with the jump back C.
Yep.
Here we go.
Blocks everything. Oh, dangerous opportunity there. Never turn your back to the center.
And you know what? He says, oh, he actually just went for the light uppercut so he couldn't get bursted. The burst would have a better chance of hitting him out of the uppercut.
Shut it down just like that. So, like, inching away from the perfect set.
Score looking very strong that first round. He's kind of playing a very defensive game against Kibetz. And Kibetz getting in there with a dashing punch. But he really hasn't gone for the running throw at all. And see right there, like I said, Kibetz could have actually burst that uppercut because he had so much life that Isen afterwards wouldn't have done much damage. So that's why as a Haomaru early on in the round, you know you can go for that combo. But speaking of combo, here we go. It's going to be 34 hits, almost half damage.
Good chunk of life off of that. Again, like I said, beautiful. Air to air with the kick.
Oh boy, but not deep enough to get the combo and gets away.
Oh, beautiful burst right there.
Yeah. Figured that Kibetz was going to do that. Didn't want to lose the weapon and all that life. Oh, the empty jump into uppercut call out. Oh my god. Oh, yeah.
Again, he's got to be careful, man. It's unfortunate this is his match to lose. One little slip.
Oh, that could have been it right there. Oh, that's going to come
runs into it.
Dead. There it is. You know, people know me for asking, is it going to kill in Samurai Shodown? I don't know if I ever have to ask that question.
No, you don't.
Because you're dead. You're dead. Now, neutral jumps right there. Neutral jumps a very powerful neutral tool, you know, in the neutral game. Like that, right there. Trying to catch people running in, going for throws, or running for running attacks.
Works his way out. All right, again, just get one hit of the jump stick. Now you see Score, he's playing it a little slightly more careful this time. Doesn't want to give, you know, Travis any chance. But again, see, beautiful use of the dash with that heavy slap.
Yeah, the high
shuts down anything that could be an answer.
Oh, wow, is that a confirm? And the weapon is gone, and guess what? You are in dire straits right now. But look at this. Okay.
Again, like I said, beautiful thing is that again, Yoshihara is one of the people he's capable enough without his weapon.
Yeah.
But again, it's just the lack of damage output that he misses now.
Yeah, you still have access to any special move that doesn't require the sword, but I think Yoshitora requires the sword off.
He needs them all.
All of them. So he's in trouble.
Again, like the two people on the roster who benefit like the most from, again, I can't even say benefit, but like I said, the fact that they're going to be stable without their weapons is Haomaru and Galfa. They don't need their weapons to get any of their specials out. You know, and of course there's also Darlie, who again, she becomes exponentially more dangerous without the giant saw, which is the biggest oxymoron I could think of. But lo and behold, she's the beautiful contradiction of this game.
Yeah, she hits you with the saw, you lose a chunk of life. She punches you, you lose 80%.
Yeah.
You know? That is a punch right there.
I said, wherever he is watching, Ralph Jones would be proud.
All right, air to air again. Using the kick a little bit faster. Ooh, trying to go for a little bit of a spot dodge right there. And there's that heavy to Desko again.
That run game caught him, man.
Ooh, nice.
DP, nice.
He's able to recover from that punch. That's how fast Haomaru's running punch recovers.
Goes for the fake, tries to run in again.
Yeah, basically playing a very careful game. Both players are. Nice! Dash under. The running attacks autocorrect when you activate them after you run under people. Oh, he got it!
Got it. All right.
Score is not going to choose to burst that because it's his round one, and it's expensive to use that burst in your first. You only get one for the entire game, basically. Yep. And so if you spend it, you get no more rage, you get no more weapon flipping technique, you get no more EX, you get no more damage boost.
And just like that, even after getting caught with a weapon flip, Score still manages to pull it off. That's now Taibetsu staring down the wrong side of the match point.
Oh no, it was a little bit too far of a cross-up, so it didn't keep hitting. Normally that jump C will push them back to the front again, and they'll get bodied by that jump C like that.
There you go. Ah, yeah, still DP is there waiting for him.
Ooh, spot dodge, but just going for that dash punch, which isn't a lot of delay.
I said again, between his universal overhead and the dash punch, you know, like I said, he's one of the people you have to wonder, does he even need the sword? Just like that.
Oh, God, there it is.
And that's the perfect time to go for the E-Sen right there. I said, thankfully, Yoshitora, he's one of the few people who, again, because of his moveset, he doesn't have to rely entirely on his rage gauge. You know, I mean, it never hurts to keep it around, but still, like I said, he's not in no trouble yet.
Right. Oh, wow, chasing the backdash. I wonder if that's been a read right there, that Score has been backdashing a lot after those jump Cs, because he just chased him down with that heavy Nadeshiko.
The punches, man, he's just not going to stop.
Okay, nice. And great block on the side switch running attack. And you saw the rebound off that. All running attacks kind of act like Cs, and they have a huge rebound delay.
Again, missed on the DP there. You know, backs himself in the corner. He's got to be careful. Tries to go for the guard point. Nice.
Yeah. Defense right after the score.
Steady.
The round slowly dwindling down, 2/3 through.
Sweeps the leg. Hands here. Again, time slowly becoming a factor. 15 seconds left. Can Gebetsu pull this off?
Something, but he's just going to run into the tornado. A little bit too aggressive right now because he knows he has to do something. Oh, here's an opportunity.
All right, man. He's going to DP, but again, it's time on his side.
Oh, he's going to
Can he pull it off?
Oh, but of course the burst is still there. That's right. That's why Score was able to go for that uppercut. That's why. Oh, and he read the dashboard with the standing C. The call out, and there it is. Score is going to take it.
That big smile, too, man. Again, he earned it one now. Oh, baby.
Man.
I said again, that is just. This is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is the beauty, like just the majesty of watching people play this game and play it to their strengths. Let their creativity, their ingenuity actually come to the forefront. And it wins matches, plain and simple.
And again, you know, those the standing Cs do like 60% damage, or
just
like
not
right
60%,
off the bat, but like a ton of damage.
It might as well be 60, man. Let's be honest.
Like maybe like 30% damage.
Yeah,
so,
on general basis. And
now,
unless they get hit with a counter, then that's going to be like 40, 45.
Now, the thing is, that makes it sound like, oh, I should just be throwing this assault all over the place. But you can react to them, you can deflect them, and then you'll lose your weapon. And so in general, most people are going to be poking with A's and B's. Right.
Listen, and that's the beautiful thing, because now it becomes a matter of, all right, yes, there's this giant telegraph, like I would even go so far to say, since we are in Vegas, neon billboard of what you could do. But the important thing is that you have to be aware of what everybody can do. You have to be aware, because again, if you go for that like huge heavy slash and you miss, you got a laundry list of problems that are now sitting on your lap.
Exactly. So that's why when you see someone connect it like that, especially in the neutral, it's just such a call out. And as a player, when you hit someone with a standing C, you just feel like a god.
You're empowered, man. I said again, no, you feel like again, you have the blessing of Bishop Mountain right there. God of War is pretty much got your back this entire time, and again, you're ready to just keep slashing away at people. But nonetheless, I can see my boy Arrow there, and again, definitely shout out to my East Coast brother right there. It's funny because yesterday when we were actually doing our set on commentary, I have a picture on my phone that I've had for about 2 years now. When me and him were doing commentary at NEC for KOF 14. And to go from that being the before picture to this being the now picture, again, I cannot tell you how proud I am of this kid right now, man.
Yeah, he's definitely been wrecking shop on the East Coast at NLBC.
Oh, yeah.
He's been, I mean, it's been him and Jonah who've been kind of going back and forth.
Yeah, like I said, they're each other's foil, basically. And just watching the rubber match between those two is one of the reasons why I can enjoy tuning in every week.
Yeah, it's really interesting here as we get another Yoshitora. Of course, that's who Aru uses, and we finally see a Genjuro on stream. Genjuro, people are going to ask, why is he so good? Everything that he has every tool possible, and he has that slight benefit on each one of them. Uppercut recovers quickly, fireball recovers quickly. He's got a universal overhead that low crushes and knocks down. You know, he's got the cross-up, Rekka Slash.
Yeah, man.
He's got a card that can bounce and set up unblockables. About the only weakness that I would say Genjuro has is that his rage burst, everybody's burst lasts a different length. And Genjuro has one of the shortest ones. But even that is barely a weakness of his.
I say it again now. You know, thankfully, Aru, he's going to be used to this. So it's like we had the old saying back on the East Coast, it's going to be guerrilla warfare whenever you see Genjuro on there. But
it's
now,
not going to be Genjuro. It's going to be Charlotte. Every time we think they're going to pick a character. Okay, I guess Charlotte players like to troll. They like to pick a different character and then go to Charlotte.
Fair enough. And again, like I said, it's a, you know, turn of a dime, but again, it is a good tactic to have because, you know, with Charlotte, one of the reasons that she tends to have a slight advantage in this matchup is because Yoshitora has to commit to so many of his normals because he's using so many different weapons. So whenever you go out there and say somebody tries to throw out a heavy slash, if Charlotte's all on the other side, she's got the opportunity to get that really good deep jump in and cross them up, and that leads to a good solid combo.
Interesting right now. It looks like Watanabe I should say, Shacho, going for a little bit more of a zoning Charlotte at first. Yeah, you see him jumping back. He really wants to go back and use the fireballs. And because you can hold them like that, it's dangerous to try to jump over them because they actually work really well as anti-airs too.
Yeah, they do. So you're learning that the hard way online.
But yeah, a very defensive style of Charlotte here. Interesting. They're not even using a lot. Oh, yeah. He's going to be able to get the full combo. 34 hits, 35 hits?
35, I believe.
Yep, there it is.
And again, like I said, you know, for everybody, for all my CBS2 fans out there, that's what we like to call big damage.
That's what we like to call combo inflation.
And I said, still, though, Watanabe cannot be counted out just yet. Ah, but again, he just lost all of his rage.
Oh, yeah.
And the hunting blade walks him right off.
And yeah, this is the thing, right? I mean, I feel like with this life deficit right now, you can't really play a zoning game anymore because there's only 10 seconds left on the clock. You got to get in there. And so Aru, yeah, is going to be able to punish that throw whiff, and there we go.
Again, make short work of it, good use of the anti.
All right, I see you, Aru. Let's go. Nice. The
good
EX.
raged out, baby. Nice.
Yeah, so when you have rage activated, some of your special moves are more powerful. So, for example, Charlotte's heavy fireball will do 3 hits instead of 1. Oh, just tried to go for a little bit of a low kick right there, knock down, and get some setups. Out of the corner now.
Yeah, gets him below. Just shy of the armor point.
Yeah. Like I said, it's very interesting to me that Watanabe Shacho is going for this very, very defensive zone-heavy style of Charlotte. I mean, it's very interesting to me because when I play Charlotte, I'm just jumping all over you all day.
You want to get in, basically.
Yeah.
Again, this is what we were talking about earlier, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody brings their own style to the table.
And so it's exciting for me, you know, to watch this different take on it, you know. I've always known that she can be kind of a zoner, but I just like rushing people down.
Again, like I said, you know, Aru trying to go for the cross-up into the full combo, but just out of the range.
Yeah,
now he's got to be super careful. One
where,
bayonet from Charlotte, that's going to be it.
Yeah, or just get the throw. And this is the kind of game where, you know, I've often said to learn fighting games, it's not about hitting buttons. It's about knowing when not to hit buttons, you know? And a lot of times it's more important not to hit buttons. And in Samurai Shodown, that's such a pertinent thing. That's why you see a lot of people just kind of staying back. You see Aru not hitting a lot of buttons, trying to find his way in. But that's what opens you up to getting run up and thrown and such. A little bit more desperation from Aru now that Shacho has been able to get his defensive play working here.
Trying to get his bearings again. Shout out to Kuroko in the background, keeping score.
It's a good thing he's not in the tournament here. He's not a usable character. He would probably destroy everybody.
Yet. Again, like I said, right now, Watanabe is again like really doing his level best to keep Aru on his toes, but now
and he's gonna spend it. Yes, of course, this is the last round.
Yep, make
Might
it count.
as well. Don't want to lose your weapon. Beautiful block on the universal overhead.
Here we
Oh,
go.
and a counter burst. Gotta be careful.
Literally anybody's game right now.
Just trying to land that jump C into Isen.
And yeah, now Charlotte is gone, so Aru, it's on him.
Yeah, but not much health left, so he'd be better off going into weapon flipping. He tried to bait Shacho into hitting a button. Oh, he went for the Isen. It wouldn't have done that much damage anyway. I think at that point in time, it would have been better just to play a little bit more patient and just try to find your opportunities to win through the neutral. But Aru risked it all on that Isen. Isn't going to pay off for him, and now he's going to go down one game.
But again, I've seen Aru take this in stride before. He's one of, at least as far as the East Coast, he's one of the most educated and most well-versed players that you can actually hope to come across. I would even go so far as to say that like he's basically getting his degree as far as Sam Show is concerned. And I know for a fact that he's going to be pulling on a well of knowledge for this particular match. And the crazy thing is that if he manages to move on, whoever the opponent is going to be, there's going to be another volume of his information. He's going to be ready.
All right. Players waiting for their match to start here. I didn't see, but I don't think Aru's changing characters.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's going to stick with the correctly colored Yoshitora, the blue Yoshitora. You'll see his theme in my color preference. Yeah, and most of the time now, even though Yoshitoras have that ability to get the 7th sword, and the 7th sword is almost a free win.
Pretty much.
A lot of players don't go for it because, if you concentrate too much on that, it can kind of mess up your game plan. So.
Oh yeah, it was a bad habit that I saw a lot of Yoshi players bring to the table in the very beginnings of the game. But thankfully, like we said earlier, the community has started to walk away from that, and they've learned to just make the full use of his moveset as is.
Nice dash under that running A from Charlotte. Not a lot of range, but can hit out of the air very effectively. And is pretty safe on block. At least it catches a lot of people off guard, so it's hard for them to counter it. Oh, yeah, you see right there, Aru was trying so hard to figure out a way in. That's what opened him up for Shacho to get the run-up throw.
Nobody going for it. Gotta take that crouching HS.
Another one. And again, that's why he got the run-up throw. Aru being a little bit too predictable in his attempts to try to close the gap. Oh, no, not a big punish.
And like I said, that was a missed opportunity there. But I believe, if anything, he was just mainly trying to check just to make sure that he would be, safe for later.
Right there, I was surprised that Charlotte was able to connect that. Since most of her jump attacks do hit downward, she's actually pretty terrible at the air-to-air game, but it worked out for her there.
Oh, trying to go for that deflect. Oh, here we go.
Oh, boy. Who mashes
an
faster?
opportunity here.
Aru does. So weapon clash, is he going to pick it up? No. But Charlotte is so not worried when she doesn't have her weapon.
Yep, like I said, number one, between her and Nakaru, they have the fastest pickup speeds in the game.
Oh, nice, okay. And then not only that, but like I said, she has such a great set of kick normals that she can still fight so effectively without her weapon.
Alright, tries to go for the cross up. Air.
Okay, that's going to be punished. He's going to have to burst. And he still won't even kill with an Isen right now, even though he'll give him a life lead. Oh, no. I wonder if he tried to activate it there, but was too late.
He may have, but again, like I said, no, not going to knock Aru at all for this. This is one of the guys, again. This is one of his, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is his first EVO. So to actually make it this far in a new game that is just basically uncharted territory for everyone, I have to give the dude all the credit in the world.
And right there, one of the reasons why Charlotte's so good is that jump C hits so low, right? And she jumps low enough that you can hit it in the air really high up and it'll still catch.
Yep.
So what I think would have happened is if Aru had done the lightning dash, I think it just would have missed.
Probably.
So he was probably waiting a little bit later to do the lightning dash so that she was low enough to be anti-aired by it. But because Charlotte C hit so low and she has such a low jump arc, it hit him before she could get to that height where she could be anti-aired.
Again, like I said, and ladies and gentlemen, this is the science that has to go into Sam's show. That's the crazy thing about it, because for everything that may be viewed as simple,
right,
again, there is a level of strategy that, you always like to say that, again, in most games it's chess, not checkers. This is basically 3D chess, pardon the pun, when it comes to Samurai Shodown, because now so much information has to be parsed and digested so quickly in this game that, again, that 1 second, not even the 1 second, that 1 millisecond is going to be the determining factor for so many different matches. And again, it's one of the reasons why this game is so much fun to me. And it's funny, like we were talking about earlier about, like, again, everybody bring their different styles. And like you said, if you wanted to play aggressive and just like constantly stay moving forward, you can. If you want to, like, hang back, view the scene, see what's going to happen, like try to react accordingly, you can also do that. My biggest problem is that I've always been a rushdown player. So yeah, naturally, again, there's this huge target on me whenever I start playing.
But, I mean, what's interesting is, like, I'm sitting here, like I said, my main, I want to use Jubei, right? But my Charlotte is better because Charlotte's just, I feel like, a stronger character overall. And so I've been playing a lot of Charlotte, and I already think she's like the second best in the game,
again,
right under Genjuro, right?
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing about it is, I'm playing her a lot, and even already, but the 2 Charlottes that we've seen, I have learned new stuff, and I have new tactics, and I'm like, man, she's even better now.
Again, like I said, that's the beauty of it, because it is such a new game. Everybody is learning, ladies and gentlemen.
And just the different styles, you know? It's just like the reason why I wouldn't learn certain things is because I'm not playing that way, you know what I mean? But now that I've seen it,
again, now like I said, your eyes have been opened, like scales have fallen away, right? And it's funny that you mentioned Jubei, because like that's the character that like I generally gravitated towards. Like, I was feeling out. There was quick little time where I was like going with Harumaru, and I'm going to keep with Harumaru just because, again, I appreciate the play style. But when it comes to Jubei, the thing that I love about Jubei, and it's something that we haven't seen too much of yet, is the simple fact that on top of the deflex and on top of the instant blocks, Jubei has counters. Very, very powerful counters as well. 40%
life counters. And when you when I said that, you land a standing C, you feel like a boss, right? You feel like a god. No, when you're Jubei and you land those counters, like, I was streaming myself playing this game, and like my viewers were like, I've never seen James pop off like this. Like, every time I landed the Jubei counter, I was just like,
dude, again, like, you have to be at high, because again, like, seriously, it's one of the things, and I would go so far as to say that like his counters are like probably one of the best kept secrets in the game. But the one thing that is not a secret is the fact that it takes an army and a village, or I would go so far as to say a city in itself, to make these events run. And right now we want to talk to you about a couple of people who, they're the reason that this is going on. They're the reason that we're able to actually sit here and talk about this game. They're the reason that, again, games like this exist. Shout out to, again, the people at Zarya, brand by BenQ, the RL series, the chosen monitor for EVO 2019. Again, you get special pricing, $149.
That's a great deal for
again, especially for a crisp monitor like this, man. Again, limited time offer. And again, you get the $50. And all you have to do is simply use the promo code ZOWIEVO19. Simple enough, easy to remember. Name, event, year. Works for me, man. Again, simple mnemonics, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's good marketing.
And it's lasting for quite some time, so you even have a little time after EVO to decide whether or not you want to use that or not. And again, $150 a great deal for a monitor like that.
And definitely got to give a shout out to Hard Knock Nights Live here. They've been at the booth. I've seen a lot of stuff from it, and like me, I'm a boxing fan. So to actually get another boxing game at all, again, it puts the hugest smile on my face. Seriously, check them out. Hard Knock Nights Live. They got their Kickstarter going up. Definitely do what you can to help that game survive.
And of course, Hyperkin here. You can see lots of different products here, lots of very interesting products here, because I love the fact that they've got this wireless controller for the N64. So they've got an N64, so if you're still busting out that Mario Kart 64, which, in my opinion, still best battle mode out of all Mario Karts.
I can agree.
So definitely worth it there. And then if you have an Apple Watch and you want to style it with some Street Fighter, you can right there. You see they have those watch bands.
And again, like I said, definitely shout out to Chengdu here. Again, the China Gaming Market Solutions. I know that, again, it's easy to look at any event and just see commentators, competitors. But you have to understand what you see on the screen right now: licensing, distribution, retail, events, venue management, and like just esports programs. That is the crux of what it is that we're doing now, ladies and gentlemen. This is all the stuff that makes events like EVO possible. They're the ones that make them tick. So again, definitely shout out to Chengdu. Again, they are doing basically, again, like they're doing the Lord's work as far as like FGC is concerned. And of course, it wouldn't be anything without Kwamba right there, man. Yep. Like I said, you look at all the stuff that comes out now, and Kwamba has always been such a consistent level of quality when it comes to the hardware that they bring to it, man. Like I said, they are some of, like, I would go so far as to say, like, they're the Rolls Royce and Maybachs of, fight sticks when it comes to the FGC, man.
Yeah, you see the Obsidian there in the middle there. And the yellow stick right there, lower price point, but a great entry stick.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely something for you to consider. But don't overlook the bag on the right as well. You can fit your joystick in there and a lot of other stuff. I see a lot of the fighting game players do that as their carry-on. They'll carry their, portable consoles in there, books, laptops,
everything
all sorts of things in there.
Right there. And just hit them up, hit the code EVO 2019 for 15% off the entire siteway. Free continental U.S. shipping. Definitely Kwamba USA. And of course, like, every time I see this color show up, like I said, again, it makes me happy because this is the strangest bedfellow that you can imagine the FGC getting. Who would have assumed way back when that when Geico said they were going to get involved with the FGC or esports in general, that here we are years later, they're still supporting us so strongly, man. Again, like, they've been doing so much and giving so many opportunities to so many different people in the FGC. So definitely shout out to Geico Gaming. Again, like I said, the only thing we don't have is we don't have a gecko running around in the venue right now.
I remember one event we did have a gecko
running
around.
Man, I missed the gecko.
I wasn't sure. It might have been like last year or something like that. But and then you also have Fusion. See all the controllers here? Designed very similar to the original Japanese Sega Saturn pads, which is my favorite pad to this day. I was able to play claw style and the actual D-pad itself. Very comfortable, so I love the fact that they're modeling it after that. And they have one for the Nintendo Switch, and that makes me feel like I need to pick one up myself right now.
Because everything, if one thing has to stand above, you got to have comfort when you're on the job, man. And again, Fusion controllers. Weird, wired 5-pads coming this fall. Control every fight. Okay. All right. And again, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you see a few of the people there, but there are a couple more that we want to let you get to know a little bit better. So we'll be right back after a few short messages, and we're coming back to EVO 2019 with more Sam Show action right after this.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to some Samurai Showdown.
Oh, yes.
I have some good news for you.
Lay it on me.
I just saved a bunch of money by switching my insurance to... No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Geico Gaming. But honestly, we have a great match coming up for you and some more death to embrace here at EVO 2019.
And like I said again, I was saying this all of yesterday. As incredible as all the stream action that we saw was, I kept telling everybody it's only going to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we had myself and Olaf Redland had the pleasure of doing the restream, an English restream of the SNK official tournament that they just ran in Japan I think it was just this last weekend. Time is going by so fast, by the way. But one of the players that we got to see play there was Harumi, you know, that we know from the Street Fighter scene. But again, here she is playing a very mean Genjuro in Samurai Showdown. So we're gonna see, she's definitely got that Genjuro, but going up against Haomaru, and like I said, this is gonna be a tough match. Genjuro obviously considered one of the strongest characters, but Haomaru, no slouch himself.
Not one bit. And again, like I said, just with these two characters, tale as old as time, I tell you. So somebody get Nicotine on the phone, right? But again, like I said, I'm really happy that I get to see, you know, Harumi actually on stage, man. I've been wanting to,
you say nicotine, and all I think of is caffeine nicotine. Get caffeine nicotine in the Samurai Showdown. Come on, Season 2, let's do it.
Like, could we even handle that, man?
They might. I keep joking, like they might have to change his name, so we should just call him C Nicky. That's what we should call him. C. Nicky. That's. See Nicky, just attacking you with his hat, you know. We've got a Tam in the house.
Oh Lord. Okay, now this is going to be a barn burner simply due to the fact that again we have two characters now. On one side, we have somebody who again controls spacing, has all the reach in the world and the damage output to back it up. On the other side, we have possibly one of the more aggressive characters on the roster. So it's going to become a matter where this isn't really going to be huge in terms of strategy, but there's going to be a lot of blood spilled here.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the things is Tam has a very, very slow and high jump, but that has that instant overhead. But if it hits you crouching, you can't really punish it easily. But if it hits you standing, you can punish it really, really hard. Even on hit as well.
And again, slow, going with the break dance, but Harumi is there waiting for the deep hit.
Yeah, just going for a couple lows. Let's see. Oh yeah, still going. What? That was the craziest hitbox I've ever seen. Genjuro kicking the sword out of the air. Now, a lot of weapons do have hurt boxes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one of the ways they balance a lot of these characters out. But the dangerous thing about Tam is even with that high jump, the overhead on the second hit of that stand kick.
Baby.
But running the uppercut is a really powerful tool for Genjuro versus Tam. But right now, Shlok from the United States doing a great job here to start. Oh, punish? No. Missed it. And again, no punish. But the air-to-air from Harumi saying, I'm sick of you jumping around all day.
You know, and one of the important things about Tam is that they actually, they put a parameter on him. If you're throwing out the skulls, you have to wait until all the skulls crack before you can do it again. So you can't just spam out the Uga.
Well, I was about to say he's jumping around like a monkey, but he hasn't been changed to a monkey yet. That's Samurai Showdown 2, right? So yeah, that's the lore there. But that's going to be super punishable. And she goes for the weapon flip. I almost feel like if she just went for the super special, that would have been it.
Yeah.
And you have plenty of time to do that, because that would have did 80% damage, and that would have been the end of the game right there.
Yeah. Again, Harumi, she's playing it safe, and I definitely have to give her the credit on that one.
Yep, you see the 3 fireballs there gutting through Genjuro's.
And I see it right now. Shlok, he's trying to bait out a blade catch. And that's right. Remember, you still have the ability to breathe fire after the weapon.
Tam's another one of those characters that just still has most of his special moves even after he loses the weapon. So you see Harumi trying to just defend, just to avoid the chip damage. But look at this. Oh no, you get caught. It is.
Nails him with that 3-card monster.
Nice. All right, Slope was actually doing a good job with the comeback there.
Yeah.
And baited Harumi into trying to be a little bit more aggressive on the offense right there. But Harumi was still able to take it.
And again, like I said, in like no convincing fashion, but again, it wasn't a wash. That's the important thing.
Yes.
So, right back into it. 1-0 in Harumi's favor.
One of the things you got to watch out, obviously stand A and stand B are great poking buttons for Tam Tam. You got to watch out for those deflects. We still haven't seen a deflect on stream yet, but that's why whenever they connect, it's just the craziest thing.
3 hits of that record.
Yeah, I mean, Genjuro still has the lows, and they're annoying to deal with, especially that 2B, but you just have to be aware of that standing kick. It's so good.
Yeah, like I said, it's a triple overhead. I can't believe I actually have the freedom to say that. All right, trying to send out the window, but again, no forward momentum on it. Sends out the skulls. Again, good patience there from Schlope.
Oh, yes, he's going to be able to punish that with just a running C. Oh, and then there's that universal that knocks down. Like I said, it's just so good, and she's that chip rate. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
I said again, unfortunately with Tam Tam, because of like the long limbs and the size of his weapon, he has to commit to all of those normals, especially in the air.
Well, like I said, if you can catch him crouching, you're a little bit safer, but that unfortunately did catch Harumi standing. You have a little bit more hit stun when you're crouching. Oh, went for the low again, keeping it mixed up between the dashing low, so even though it doesn't look like a low, that's a low. And then mixing that between the standing 5K, which has that overhead on the second hit. So here we go. Oh no, too slow.
Quick enough on the draw, brother.
Oh, that's going to be punished. What's the punish that she has? Okay.
All right,
goes into the uppercut combo.
All right, now this is again.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I can't. Oh, go.
And again, like I said, that was nerves right there because he wanted to go to the weapon flip.
But see, I'm not sure if he did because that would have been burstable and he would have been dead. And so I don't think he wanted to go into the weapon flipping technique. Oh, but Harumi is going to take it. She moves on the winner side of the bracket.
Again, like I said, there's no simple, light work for Harumi right there, man. And like you were saying earlier, this is one of the characters that, again, we saw. One of the Genjuros that we saw at the official SNK tournament. And just with the sheer willpower that she brings to this stage, man. Again, it is a commanding performance from Harumi.
Well, that is definitely one of the first Genjuros we've seen on this block, and a dominating Genjuro performance it was by Harumi. Yeah, it's interesting because like every fighting game, I always feel like there's the one character that everyone's like, this is a top character, and they kind of drop a little bit, and then there's the top character that's kind of stays up there.
Yeah.
Genjuro is the one that's staying, and Tam Tam I feel like is kind of going down little by little.
I can say this, that basically what it is that, and this is where it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but this is where the Wong factor actually has to come into play. Because Justin Wong, made a run with Tam Tam like he has. It's worked to his advantage because, again, he's been winning a great deal in many tournaments. However, it has also been broadcasting everything that Tam Tam's capable of. So the more and more that you would see Justin's Tam Tam, the more and more you would be able to see any particular weaknesses or any shortcomings in the character's gameplay. And now it's become relatively common knowledge for the entire community. So people are learning the best way possible to, again, find ways to counteract it, find ways to, again, work against it, find ways to use all of his strengths to their advantage and take him out of the game.
Yeah, and plus another thing too is I just feel like Tam Tam works for certain players. So obviously Justin is going to be able to do things with Tam Tam that a lot of other people aren't going to be able to do. So because it just fits to his style. And we have another old school face here on the right. That is Bucktooth, aka Campbell Tran, aka part of the small crew of Been to Every EVO club, which I am also a member of. But I've also been to B3, B4, and B5 because I'm old. That's another story. That's another story. But Campbell Tran, he's sitting here on the right. Again, like I said, a lot of old school players coming out of the woodwork to play this because it
appeals, man. Like I said, again, it draws the crowd in.
A lot of the older fighting games, when you played them, there wasn't a lot of differences on block and hit, so, you just kind of threw things out. You did things by emotion. I talk about this game emotion. That's a word that I use a lot because, you know, I'm an emotional guy, and that's why this game just appeals to me so much. It just feels like it's so fun, and you know, I just get so much pleasure out of playing this.
Okay, now here's the thing again. Like, see one of the new kids on the block come on in the pick of Yashimaru.
Ah, Yashimaru. Okay, here's a character that when he first dropped, I was just like, this character is not good at all. And then as time has gone on, now I think Yashimaru might be one of the strongest characters. Oh, this is Freno. Okay, I do not know what he looks like, but he is a strong player from Europe.
And good use of the blowback. Yeah. You don't see that enough.
And Yashimaru. Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Hawamaru.
Let that one
You do
rock.
Hawamaru things, okay? But Yashimaru, because he's the only character with a double jump, it is such a benefit to him to have that movement option, and it throws the opponent off so much. You have to get used to it, and if you're not, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Again, that trade, the air-to-air right there. Again, Fiona walking away with it on that one, man.
Plus another thing too is this Yashimaru, I mean, everybody has weapons that are just as long, but I feel like his range is still a lot higher than a lot of the other characters.
So particularly like all of his C attacks.
Yeah.
You know, like they just cover such a wide berth. Good area then from Bucktooth.
Empty jump. Interesting. I think Bucktooth was trying to call out a double jump, but Freno did not do it. And again, you just see how having that double jump changes so much. There we go. The damage.
And the rage boost on that owl rush.
Oh, missed it. Just a B, not going for the C. I think he had a time for a C to be able to hit him, but didn't go for it. Out of there, but it's still chased down. But you know what? Unfortunately, that combo was too far and it didn't connect fully. Oh, Bucktooth trying to stay alive, but the double jump. He called out the double jump. He got him with the lightning burst, the Isen. Embrace death.
All right, now here then it works for again. It gets him the round, but he now has to deal with no resources on his end, and Yashimaru has rage.
And here we go, the mix-up. Which side is he going to be on? And yeah, you got to block that on the way down.
Yep.
It's a little bit of a mix-up because no matter what, when he's in rage, he will turn around. Yashimaru is the only character that gets all of the special moves buffed when he has the rage.
Yes, sir.
Oh no, but it's out now, so no more.
Good just defense.
Good punish.
Rush, man. And again, this is the beauty of like Freenel's play right now. Freenel, he's not going to go too far as to commit. He wants to get in, get out, get his damage, and get back to the neutral.
Oh, see again that double jump, but running
Bucktooth
C
is starting to read it.
Running C is so good, but yeah. Like you said, I haven't seen a lot of people using that, but at higher levels, I think as this game develops, we're going to be seeing just defending the blowback a lot.
Oh yeah.
Of course, the window to do the blowback is smaller depending on, you know, which moves you blow back, and so you might accidentally spot dodge. So there is some risk associated with that. Oh, okay, here we go. And yeah, oh, he did it a little too early. If he had burst right when Bucktooth hit the B, he would have been able to punish and kill him. Oh, the rebound cancel, he risked it. He went for the uppercut and it paid off.
And again, live, just like you were talking about, the range, again, it's above average. And when it comes to all of these standing heavy slashes that he has, again, he's going to be able to, again, gauge people enough that we're going to be able, they're going to think that, all right, maybe I could actually block this. Maybe I can like buffer it for anything. No, it's going to reach you, okay? All right, but again, 1-0 for no Phil now.
Freenel is one of the players that I do expect to go far in this tournament. But you know, I've known Bucktooth for years, and so I gotta go for. Let's go, Bucktooth! Come on, old man, let's do this.
And again, like I said, the beauty of Freenel is that he's one of, again, he's another scholar when it comes to any game that he plays.
Yeah. Oh, he almost. So there is a ton of delay if you miss that dagger from the air with Yashimaru. But again, there's that beautiful just defend and the blowback. It is punishable. Yes, you gotta punish it right there. Bucktooth has to be worried now, though, because if he can train one more hit, if Freenel can get one more hit, went for the deflect. Okay, he's in range now that if he does the throw in the uppercut combo, he can get bursted and killed, but he manages to get the hit, and Bucktooth takes the round.
Oh yeah, I said again, it was simple. Good use of the fact that, again, he knows what his opponent's capable of. Again, you missed that spear throw, you're left out in the open. Again, good use of the double jump. Manages to get over the weak TP.
Just going for the 2C, get some damage.
Right, nobody home for the overhead.
See Bucktooth right now just trying to chase Friano down. This is what Yashimaru does to you. Okay, goes for the uppercut combo again. He could have died if Friano decided to burst, but because he didn't win the first round, Friano most likely not going to use the burst. Probably going to save it for third round if he can get there. Oh, the water, the
bottle, man.
sake bottle. I keep calling it the water bottle, and my stream chat's like, water, James? Really? Oh, no, it missed! Oh, and yet that's going to work out well for Friano because now he's going to go into round 3 with his meter still intact.
And one thing that Friano did in that round that I actually appreciate is that while it looked like he was just simply running away, he was evading to make sure that Bucktooth lost his rage.
Right, because again, Harumaru's rage is just so strong. You gotta weather that storm.
Simple base goes to the overhead. Ooh, nobody
it's gonna be good damage. And there he goes. He doesn't want to lose it. Yeah, now here's the mix-up. Left to right. Oh no, he's not gonna go for that. Okay.
Oh, nobody home.
Early on. Now this is a huge advantage for Bucktooth. No more E-Sen, no more ability to burst out of his uppercut combo, so he's got free reign to do whatever he wants right here. Here we go. Oh no, he missed the uppercut combo.
Good overhead. Nice.
Oh, there it is. Bucktooth.
And the defense ties it up.
Take it, game number 2 to make it 1-1.
Got a fight on our hands now, ladies and gentlemen. Friano, again, like I said, taking the opportunity, putting some thought in things.
Okay.
I said again now, will he stick with who? No, is he going to stick with Yashimaru? He's going to switch it up. Maybe just taking a break, get some thought.
Oh, he's doing.
Oh, man.
He said, you know what? Enough of this, Yashimaru. I am going to Genjuro, and I am going to unga my way through Bucktooth. Let's see if Bucktooth, but see, here's the dangerous thing about Genjuro, right? Everyone knows he's the best character, which means everybody knows how to fight him. If you're coming into this and you don't have experience of fighting Genjuro, you are making a huge mistake.
Yeah, that is a huge disadvantage to have, especially on this stage.
Yeah. And so you know that everybody's gonna have a lot of experience fighting against this character. Let's see if Bucktooth can handle this character change. Nice.
Those are the anti-air. And the command throw.
One of the faster command throws, very low damage, but also very low recovery, unlike the regular throw.
Just try to go for that combo.
But you see when that card bounces off, when it drops on your head, it's an overhead. So he sets himself up some pseudo unblockables, and you have to be careful of that. Oh, yeah, there's that overhead, but he did not commit to canceling it.
Nice trade.
You can't buffer the third hit of that standing kick, so you have to cancel the second hit in order to combo into the Rekkas. I love Campbell. Okay, Bucktooth.
Oh, no.
Oh, is that going to trade?
What?
Oh, my God. But that's going to be able to hit as well. And there it is. Bucktooth just going at it. The weapon flipping technique does not get used up unless it hits or the timer runs out. So even though it didn't connect that first time, he still had access to it again. But speaking of weapon flipping technique, here comes Friano.
One good turn deserves another.
And again, like you said, Harumaru very strong even without the weapon. But there's the cross up on the Rekkas. And there's the overhead.
Again, like I said, further and further away.
Yeah, the weapon has basically been scrolled off the screen now. Kama still might be able to get a great block on the cross-up, but Friano says, nope, you are not getting your weapon. We are going this way.
Not dead yet.
Yeah, but with no access to the weapon, it's essentially it right there.
It's a done deal, open and shut case. But both characters going into this now, match point for Friano and Bucktooth.
Final round.
Exactly. Both still have rage. That's the main takeaway.
Yep. Ooh, wow. I'm not even sure if that was a punish because I saw a counter on there. So that might have still been a punish. Oh, just outside of the range. Faked him out.
Take a count.
Oh, there. Oh, but he chose to go for it.
Goes to the Demon Blade. Nice.
Interesting. Oh, well, you know what? the Eason would not have done a ton of damage. I mean, it still would have did almost 50%. So I'm surprised he didn't just take that damage while he had it. Gets the cross up, that mix up again.
Freenel is actually using his lack of rage gauge to his advantage here, because now he had to force Bucktooth to actually be on the offensive. Here it comes.
And Bucktooth is gonna send Freenel in the loser's bracket, and look at that smile on Bucktooth's face.
Man,
oh man.
That meteor smash of an attack, man.
That is why Haomaru is considered such a strong character. As I mentioned, not only does he have all the fundamentals and everything that you need for a good growing samurai, but that weapon flipping technique is the difference maker. And there it was. Campbell Tran moving on winner's side over Freenel, and that to
is
me,
impressive, man.
That is an upset to me. Not knocking on Bucktooth.
Oh,
here,
no,
but,
not knocking on either one of them. But again, so when it comes to Freenel, Freenel again, he is one of these scholars of the game. So for Freenel to go into a matchup and anything just kind of go off, even if it looks like it may have been just a tiny snafu or a crossing of the wires, it's still a huge moment. So definitely shout out to Bucktooth for that win right there. And again, shout out for the awareness of exactly where the reach on the weapon flip is going to sit. Because honest to God, literally half a step back, he would have been eating a cross-up record.
Yep. Yeah, great job, Campbell.
Brains, ladies and gentlemen, brains. Oh, man. And again, we still have more action coming.
Oh, yeah. We're just in the quarterfinals. Like I said, we're going through a lot of the pools here, the H pools. You can follow along on Smash.gg. I don't think they're updating the pools right away, but at least you can see who's
you
in
just see
all
the general
of the
progression
H
of what's
pools.
happening right now. Again,
I mean, someone tweeted me one of the pools that was just, it just looked like this. It just looked like this should not have been a pool. It's just not. I mean, let me see if I can find this tweet here, because I retweeted it out, and it's just, I looked at this pool and I was like, this is not cool at all. This is not cool at all. Let's see here.
Again, like I said, moving on.
Yeah, here we go. This pool had Abao, Xiaohai, ZJZ, Koji KOG, Reynold, Kibetsu, and Score, as well as a player named Terra. And that was just in one of the quarterfinal pools.
Wow.
That is not cool at all. So shout outs to, I think it was Dandy J who sent that to me. Yes, it was. Shout outs to Dandy J.
Good on you, Dandy. But again, dude, seriously, just to even if this were a pool that started yesterday, I would immediately declare shenanigans. But we have to remember, like I said again, we've weeded out roughly about 75% of the people who came through. So for those names to end up on one list, either again that is just pure kismet at work, or again that is destiny happening now.
It's just the volume of amazing players here playing Samurai Shodown. You can't. It's crazy because all these names are from all these different games. You know what I mean?
Like I said again, there's a wide crossover. The cross section that we're getting with Sam Show right now is amazing.
Yeah, I know a lot of people know ZJZ as the Monot player, but he started in KOF. I mean, he's known for his KOF. So is Reynold. Reynold is a KOF champion.
He's a legend, plain and simple. All right.
Xiaohai, also a KOF player, but Street Fighter player. Abao, a Street Fighter player. Koji KOG, huge anime game player. Street Fighter player as well.
And they're all finding refuge in Sam Show.
It's wonderful.
Wow. Okay, so
if you guys are watching this and this game looks fun to you, I mean, definitely pick this up. It will be out on PC and on the Switch at the end of the year. If you want to be a little patient, but try to pick it up soon, because it is a wonderful, fun game. And it goes, even if you let's say you're you know what, I'm a Mortal Kombat player, I don't have time to play Samurai Shodown. I'm a Soul Calibur, I'm a Tekken player. This is a great game to have on the side and play, because you can learn it quickly and have the enjoyment and have the fun factor out of it very, very quickly. So I highly recommend you pick this game up and play. Again, I'm biased because I love this game so much, and I just want to see more people play it. I just want to see more people. I want to see this game. Let's break some more records next year for Samurai Shodown.
And the beautiful thing about it is, hopefully SNK has the wherewithal to basically pull the free LC, maneuver that they did with the PS4. And again, for anybody who may not have been aware of it, when SNK announced the release date for Samurai Shodown, they openly said that, again, if you get it within a week's time of release, you get the first season pass completely free.
Which means that, again, you're going to get the game, and you're also going to get any, extra outfits that they bring.
Right.
You're also going to get, Rimururu, Basara,
Kazuki,
and my man Wan
Fu.
Fu.
Oh, yeah.
That is the one I'm waiting for, man. Wan Fu, like, more to the point, the pillar Wan Fu.
Yes.
Not the sword Wan Fu,
Yes.
not the club Wan Fu, the pillar
The pillar
Wan
is
Fu.
so nice looking. I don't know if he wants to carve his head into it anymore, But there's one more story I want to tell, but I'll tell it after this because we've got this interesting situation here. We got Michiru Kanazuki going up against Kogatani, and both of them with Yoshitora. Like I said, I really feel like Japan is a lot higher on Yoshitora than on the West.
I can agree.
And so we're seeing a lot of Yoshitoras from the Japanese players and Aru, of course, as well. Oh, man. A lot of air-to-air here, but that's what we're going to be expected to see because this character's jumping C is obviously very powerful. So we're going to see that a lot from both of these players against each other. And like I said,
Good use of the guard point into the command throw.
Yep.
One more flower for the
That's
bouquet.
one flower right there. Another flower, that's two of them. So actually it feels like Kogatan's working on himself, trying to build up those different flowers. Actually part of his gameplay here. The problem is, as powerful as that 7th sword can be, as long as the opponent has an Isen burst ready to go, it's still a very dangerous tool to use.
Yep. Nice to play from. Ooh, just within range. That's going to do it. Oh, no, he's still alive.
Oh, my God, he's still alive. Oh, and then he ran into the stand C. And again, stand C, 4 different colors on 4 different strikes, 4 different blades, 4 different previous loves of his life.
Dude, again, like I said, the reach on that bad boy, full screen damage right there.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones that, at one point, it feels great when you land that 5C and you see it hit all 5 times. But then you just get mad at Galford. But that's a whole nother story. Oh, the double jumping C, and he's going to be able to get the big old combo here.
Again,
32 hits.
Locks down. Puts Kogatan in the corner. That's a really quick overhead. Defense there. Right, nice on the
air, yep, and staying in that air-to-air. Kogatan making the comeback little by little, but oh no, he didn't kill him. Still has a chance. Nothing is over until it's over in this game, but the kick is going to take that round.
And again, like I said, Michiru Kanazuki, beautiful adjustments there. So again, we tied up on rounds. Still, no one on the board just yet.
Okay, air trade to trade. A bit air-to-air trade, but whatever, it's all good. There it is, all 5 hits. And then the run-up throw afterwards into the command throw, actually, to get one of those flowers. But I think he's had that one already. You keep him from round to round, by the way, until you activate the 7th one, then you lose it the next round. But Kogatan's not going to worry about it because look at this. He has gotten so many. He has such a huge life lead at this point.
Wow, it's burst.
Oh, he's. Oh, no, okay. Yeah. Oh, he threw him running up at him. He called out the run-up throw. And he got the throw first. And he's going to combo into his weapon flip that you can activate once you get the burst active.
Yes, sir.
And there you go, taking that first game.
Beautiful stuff there. And again, for everybody who's getting a KOF head, if you really want to pay attention, if you want to split hairs, you can say again, that is the feudal Japan power double. So just take that for what it's worth. Oh man, but again, still. Oh,
he's gonna get a switch to Charlotte.
Oh, girls back on stage, man. And now this could be the adjustment necessary. Because not to say that again the Yoshimura didn't work out too well, but again, you don't want to commit, particularly at this stage of a tournament. You don't want to run the risk of saying, all right, I had an opportunity to change and I didn't because I wanted to stick to my guns. So again, the character switch here is a good choice.
And as I've mentioned, I think Charlotte is very strong. The only problem with Charlotte is that she doesn't have the rich girl kick from all the other fighting games like Lily, Karen, and who was the last? Aurier, because they're all the ones with the Ojo laugh, and all right, but there you see, actually Charlotte, one of her biggest weaknesses is the fact that she does not do well on air-to-air because all of her jump attacks attack at a downward angle. Jumping B is going to be the best one that she has, but still then it's still aimed down.
Oh, opportunity.
Okay. Like I said, neutral jump very powerful, in particular for Charlotte as well. And then zoning with the fireball and the bayonet thrust. Oh.
Yeah, missed opportunity again.
Wow, just point blank, go for it. That's got invincibility on startup. The first active frame is vulnerable, so at worst it can trade.
Oh,
but still very good. DPs, yeah, man. Just doing it. No fear. Samurai never fear death.
Goes to the hurl.
Slide, yeah.
Good punish.
Punish, yeah. Always forget she has that, man. That's a special move. Oh, the uppercut did not work.
Oh,
but the jump
man.
C did.
Shut that whole full slash down. Not having any of it. And there goes your laugh.
Oh, beautiful uppercut right there. Went for the light one. And then the light one doesn't have the invincibility, but if you trade, you do clearly more damage than Yoshitora. That's the one weakness of Jump C, is that if it clips one hit, it only does 1/4 of the damage.
Yep.
Because there's 4 hits on it. Oh,
here we go.
Speaking of that Jump C, he's going to get it. Yep.
Nice, good use of the initial. Solid damage on that one.
Roll to the other side.
Raw DP. Again. Double tap that kick.
Again, Samurai never feared death. This empty jump.
The micro dash.
No.
Oh, no.
But see, remember what I said about Charlotte? Since her jump is so low, you see her, you feel like you can hit her there, and then you lightning dash too early and it misses, and then the universal overhead.
Oh, man.
Michiru Kanazaku.
And Michiru, again, getting up on the board. Like, both of them having a good laugh about that, because, again, that was a turn of events right there, man. Like I said, the fact that Yoshitora missed the E-Sen, unbelievable.
Yeah, it's so funny because back in the days of Samurai Shodown, it was like 2, 3, and 4. When I was in school, I would always go to the campus arcade, and one of the Samurai Shodown players over there, every time he did an uppercut and he knew he was gonna die because it got blocked, he would just scream out in the arcade, "Samurai never fear death!" And so, I have to bring that back now that Samurai Shodown is back in the limelight.
Oh, man.
If he's out there and he ever hears this, dude, and he's like, "That was me!" Yeah, dude. I mean, legit, he would just do that. And everyone in the arcade would turn and look and be like, "What the heck is happening?" And so, yeah, I gotta yell that all the time when I'm commentating this.
Oh, that is beautiful. And now, like I said, we have gone completely full circle here. We started out with the Yoshitora mirror. We had the switch, and now we have the Charlotte mirror. Fancy that.
Oh, man.
With the home court advantage.
Got the true fencing match here.
All right, good gradation there.
Power gradation.
In that hold, man, with the overhead.
Yeah. Interesting here because I think it's a. Well, let me check some. Okay, yeah. So Michiru Kanazuki is in the red, and Kogatan is in the blue. I guess if you think of Karen Kanzuki is in red usually. That helps you memorize. Got all these mnemonics here. Oh, nice. Heavy uppercut is invincible. Oh, did he catch her? Yeah, too far away, so that's a big punish right there. Just a dashing C, you probably could have dashed up into her own weapon flipping, but then just uppercut in the middle of everything, and Kogatan taking round number 1.
Just take it to the skies, man.
Got the Ojo laugh on deck. One of these days we need to make a fighting game where we just take all the Ojo laugh characters and put them into one game.
Oh, God.
Get like Devilot in there.
I don't think my ears could handle that.
Ojo fighters or something like that.
Again, right now, it's true again, keeping his distance.
Oh, yeah, and there's that jump C again.
Make it count.
Oh, and he did. He made it count like you can't even imagine. Super special move. Oh, look at the damage. 80% gone just like that. And that should, I thought if he did the heavy one, it would have killed. But
opportunity there to just really close this one out.
Boy.
Kogatan
still fighting.
Not dead yet.
Now, obviously, people are asking, how do you even let a move that does 80% like that in the game? Well, you're only invincible during the startup before you hear the Koto pluck, the dong.
You're right.
After that, you have no invincibility, and you only get 1 per game Whether you whiff, whether you hit, whether it's blocked, you just get one use of it, and it has a ton of startup.
Like I said, let that be a lesson, everybody. Everyone gets one. Still, I said that was the turn of the tide right now. Again, Michiro is back and he's alive in this match. And still, relatively even pace from these two.
Okay, nice punish with the 6-6K. Caught him with that running slide. Everybody has dashing specific attacks. And that knee right there is so good as an emergency anti-air when you see someone whiff a jump like that. Oh boy.
Oh man.
Oh no! Just missed that punish. That was a huge drop. I feel like Michiro could have taken it just on that. So
wow.
Kogatan's gonna activate. Oh, not a true. Oh, Isen!
Beautiful.
To save himself. Perfect timing.
And now it said this is all the tension right now.
Oh my God! Gotta watch out. You can still get an autocorrect on that Isen and stop Charlotte on the cross up. Oh! Oh! No!
What's he gonna do? Oh my God, he's just comfortable.
Oh! He tried to stab through. He couldn't get it in time.
And again, it was beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful because, like you were saying earlier, you made mention of this. When you are in Rage Burst, all of the moves that would be enhanced by Rage are going to stay enhanced. And again, he brought that out perfectly. Unbelievable, man. These two, again, seriously. Like I said, literally, if there was ever going to be a time to talk turkey and trade shop, it would be now. Because again, these two, they just fought 2 mirror matches with 2 different characters. So again, naturally, there's going to be there has to be some notes being traded on that.
And the character switch definitely working out more for Michiro Kanazuki.
Definitely.
But the story that I wanted to tell, because you were talking about how much you loved what SNK did with the free season patch and everything like that. I just want to give a shout out to the SNK team because they've been doing a marvelous job with this game. My favorite story so far is when the beta came out, we had one of the guys out there who does all the testing on input lag and said, you know what? This game has 8 frames of input lag, and if you guys don't know, that's not good.
No,
that is really, really terrible. And SNK got word of that, and they're like, okay. They fixed it almost instantaneously, said this is going to be a day 1 patch to fix this, and then they took their Japanese developer, flew him out to France, where the guy, that same guy who does all the tests, does his test, flew him out to France so he could use the exact same methodology on the test to test it, and he was like, yep, down to 4 frames. And then they flew him back. So they took the time and the effort to make sure we got the 4 frames of input lag, which is much better for fighting games.
What amazes me about that is that, again, the news of the 8 frame lag secondly came out. And before it could even make the rounds, the problem was already solved. All right, let's say, really take that into consideration. SNK, they're not playing any games, ironically, not playing any games with this. And again, they want to make sure that the people who play the game, they want them to have the best experience imaginable.
They're not playing any games,
like I said,
but they're not playing any games to make sure that we're playing all the games.
Exactly, though, man. But again, that is amazing. Now the question is, again, I do believe, all right, so again, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Going to shift things around a little bit, and again, we will see you guys back after this.